Okay, it's pretty clear that you want to have a conversation about that, right? Okay, let's talk about it. So, let me share with you the top 10 emergency loans needed today for fair credit. If you have fair credit and you're looking for an emergency loan needed today, you want to listen to this conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Studio Q Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you had to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to share with you the top 10 emergency loans needed today for fair credit, okay? Number 10, we have Clearview Loans. Our score, 7 over 10. So when you think about Clearview Loans, you are talking about a maximum emergency loan for fair credit for $5,000. That's the maximum, okay? And there is a soft pull possible depending on the state you're applying from. And funding can happen within 6 hours, okay? This is wonderful. And one thing we love is that the requirements for the loan are pretty flexible with this lender, Clearview Loans. So basically, they want you to have a job or regular income, receive regular income, to earn at least $800 monthly. So that's the minimum, and you need to have an active checking account. And the thing I want to say also is that you need to be at least 18 years of age to access emergency loan providers through Clearview Loans. This is important. And one thing you need to understand is that this is a marketplace lender. So this is a network of lenders, and once you submit your information to them, they will actually forward that information to their network of lenders, and a lender will get back to you depending on your profile. So Clearview Loans, 7 over 10. Number 9, we have personalloans.com. Our score, 7.5 over 10. So when we talk about personalloans.com, you have a maximum loan amount of $35,000. Isn't that good? This is just fantastic. So you can borrow up to that amount, and there is a soft pull possible depending on the state you're applying from. This is really good also. And funding can happen within 12 hours. Really good. And they want you to have the last 3 tax returns and your last 5 bank statements. Okay, so this can be actually a substitute for evidence of cash flow and net worth, depending on the state you're applying from. So basically, if you don't have let's say you have no proof of income, you can provide the last 3 tax returns and the last 5 bank statements. This is really good. So the maximum loan amount is $35,000, the minimum $1,000. Okay, and in terms of eligibility, what you need to have, you need to show proof that you are at least 18 years old, a valid social security number, U.S. citizenship or permanent residency, a regular source of income, and a valid checking account. Okay, and funding happens really fast with personalloans.com. So personalloans.com, our score is 7.5 over 10. Let's talk about number 8. You have cashusa.com. Our score, 8 over 10. So if you have fair credit and you need an emergency loan today, you can try cashusa.com. On that website, you have loans from $500 to $10,000. So $500 to $10,000, okay? And you'll receive a loan decision in minutes. And funding is possible within 12 hours, okay? You don't have to wait a long time to get the loan. So 12 hours, that's a good time frame, and you can get funds directly to your bank account, and you can use the loan for any purpose. This is kind of cool. The interest rate, 5.99% to 35.99%, and we're looking at 3 to 72 months. Okay, so this is really good. And one thing you need to understand is that with cashusa.com, you have the possibility to actually receive your money real fast. I've said this before. You were talking about 12 hours, but in some cases they can get you the money within 8 hours. It really depends on the state you're applying from, and if you pre-qualify, cashusa.com will transfer you to a direct lender where you finish applying, receive an instant decision, and if approved, receive your money as soon as 12 hours. Okay, so Cash USA is basically a platform. It is a marketplace lender. It is not a direct lender. It is a marketplace lender. So Cash USA 8 over 10. Number 7, we have Grace Loan Advance. Our score 8 over 10. So this lender is a marketplace lender, another marketplace lender, okay? And funding is possible within 24 hours. 24 hours, that's the really a good time frame. And so we have $100 to $35,000, okay? And this is, you have a quick and easy online form. So basically, Grace Loan Advance makes the process of getting a loan fast and easy, and they really simplified the process through their quick and secure online form. So you have loan offers in minutes, and funds are directly going directly to your bank once you are approved. Okay, the APR goes from 6% to 35%, and you are looking at a maximum maturity of 72 months. Okay, so that's 6 years. And basic loan requirements: you must be at least 18 years old. You must be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. You must be currently employed or receive steady income. You need to have a bank account to receive the funds, ideally with direct deposit, because they will verify your bank statements. Number 6 for us, we have OneMain Financial. Our score 8.5 over 10. So when we talk about OneMain Financial, we are speaking about funding that is possible within 12 hours, soft pull possible, and in case you don't have a proof of income, your last 3 tax returns and the last 6 bank statements can be a substitute for evidence of cash flow and net worth, depending on the state you're applying from. Regulations vary by state, okay? So when we talk about OneMain Financial, we are speaking about personal and auto loans from $1,500 to $20,000. Okay, this is really good. And OneMain Financial here, they've been doing this for a while now. Actually, nearly 100 years. They've been here for over a century, nearly a century, really. And with the OneMain Financial, you have a personalized service in about 1,400 locations. That's the cool thing here, is that you can apply online if you want to, but you can also go to a branch, a location, and get your cash there, or even apply there. This is really good, okay? And when we talk about emergency loans, you can use the money for anything, for debt consolidation to a medical expense and whatnot, okay? And the rate and product you qualify for depends on various factors, including the loan size, the term length, the credit history, your income, expenses, other financial obligations, and the availability of collateral, such as a vehicle, for example, okay? So the thing works very simply. Number one, you apply online. So they need you to provide some financial, employment, and personal info, and you'll get a quick response on your loan request. So that's the first step. The second step is you need to connect with a loan specialist. So upon approval, they will discuss with you the options they have, and they will verify things like identity, income, expenses, and any needed collateral on the phone, online, or at a branch. It really depends on you. And the third step is you sign and get your money, okay? So after you review and accept the loan, you will sign loan documents and receive the money. It's very easy. Number 5, folks, we have here Upgrade. Our score 9 over 10. So if you have fair credit and you are looking for an emergency loan today, this is a great platform. Funding is possible within 18 hours. Soft pull is possible, and a bank account connection can be a substitute for evidence of cash flow and net worth, depending on the state you're applying from. Regulations vary by state, okay? If you don't have proof of income, you can provide other stuff for them to know that you have the money. Okay, with Upgrade, you have personal loans up to $50,000. You have low fixed rate, affordable monthly payments, and no prepayment penalties. Okay, and the cool thing is that with the Upgrade, you are really you can do a lot of stuff with the loan. You can refinance credit cards. You can have debt consolidation. You can have home improvement. You can buy. You can have a major purchase. You can take care of an emergency in terms of medical bills. It's up to you. And you have a quick and easy process, so you can check your rate, choose your loan, and you have a 18-hour to 24-hour funding. Fantastic. Number 4, folks, we have here Avant. Our score 9 over 10. So when we talk of Avant, is a great place if you have a fair credit and you are looking for an emergency loan today. Soft pull is possible on the platform. This is really good. Funding within 4 hours possible. 4 hours, okay? And income tax returns and a connection to a bank account can be a substitute for income proof and net worth, depending on the state you're applying from. Regulations vary by state. And I'm just making this comment for those of you who have no proof of income. You can provide other stuff to actually prove net worth and cash flows, okay? With Avant, you can actually borrow from $2,000 to $35,000. So that's the delta here, $2,000 to $35,000, and you can repay the loan within 24 to 60 months. This is really good, okay? And depending on how much you borrow, interest rates or Avant can be between 9.95 and 35.99%. Okay, and the cool thing here is that with Avant, you actually get a soft credit check, so you receive a soft pull, and so this will not affect your credit score. And Avant typically gives loan to applicants with credit scores of 600 and above. Okay, so this is really good, and you can increase your chances of getting an Avant emergency loan by achieving a 30% debt to income ratio. Okay, this is really good. And in terms of what else, they do have an origination fee. That's one thing we don't like with Avant, but hey, it is what it is. And their origination fee can be as high as 4.75%. Number 3, folks, we have here Best Egg. Our score 9.5 over 10. So when you think about Best Egg, you have funding is possible then within 4 hours. Soft pull is possible, and if you don't have a proof of income, income tax returns and a connection to a bank account can be a substitute for income proof and net worth, depending on the state you're applying from, okay? And with Best Egg, we have a low fixed APRs. This is really good. You have personal loans up to $50,000, and you can check your rate in minutes, okay? So again, soft pull is possible. So with this loan, you can manage your debt. You can take care of emergencies. You can put your credit card debt behind you. You can actually take care of a medical emergency. You can actually do a lot of things. You can renovate the house. If there's a problem in the house and it is an emergency, you can borrow from Best Egg to take care of that. So the first thing is determine how much you need to get things done. So you want to request a loan from $2,000 to $50,000 and make one fixed monthly payments with APR from 6% to 36%. And the terms, you have 3 or 5 year terms. It really depends on you. And one thing I want to say also is that with Best Egg, you actually have a stellar customer service. Okay, they are really there to help you, to support you. So this is a fantastic player. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Certi Kiwi Show. We are actually having a conversation about the top 10 emergency loans for fair credit needed today. And number 2, we have Upstart. Our score 9.5 over 10. And we have with Upstart, funding is possible within 18 hours. Soft pull is possible, okay? And if you don't have proof of income, you can actually provide income tax returns and a connection to bank account. So those two can be a substitute for income proof and net worth, depending on the state you're applying from. And regulations vary by state. Okay, so when we talk about Upstart, you can borrow from $1,000 to $50,000, okay? And the APR goes from 3.09% to 35.99%. So that's what we have here. And the loan terms, you can either have 3 or 5 years, okay? So you only have 2 choices. So that's fine. I mean, that duality is not really a big problem. I mean, 3 years is kind of cool, 5 years is kind of cool, depending on your budget. So just trying to make sure that you choose the right time frame for you, okay? And so the funding can happen really fast. Really fast, okay? 18 hours, they will really, no problem. And one thing I also want to say here is that you basically you need to read the terms of your loan, of the promissory note, before signing the loan, rather, to make sure that you are okay with the fees. And yeah, so very important, okay? So Upstart 9.5 over 10. Number 1, best of the best. In our view, when it comes to emergency loans needed today for fair credit, we have a Lending Club. Our score 10 over 10. So with Lending Club, funding is possible within 12 hours. That's really cool. and soft pull is possible. Okay, so you don't risk a hard pull on your credit. And income tax returns can be substituted for income proof depending on the state you're applying from, and regulations vary by state. So with Lending Club, you have personal loans up to $40,000. Okay, this is really good, and what we love is that the process is very simple. You apply in minutes. You get customized loan options based on what you tell a Lending Club. You choose a loan offer so you can select the rates, term, and payment options like that you really love, and you get funded. So once your loan is funded, they will send the money straight to your bank account and or pay your creditors directly. If you want to have a debt consolidation loan, okay. And so, with the cool thing about Lending Club is, in addition to being a lender, they have started in the last few months to become a bank, a financial institution. So basically, you can actually start establishing a relationship with them. You can open a bank account, okay, and basically you can actually see how you can use that bank account, that relationship that you have with them to get a loan. That's totally possible. Let me just say this overall here. Let's have a conversation in the overview here. The one thing you need to understand is that if you want to get the best emergency loans for Fair Credit, there are a few things you need to do. First of all, do you qualify for an emergency loan if you have Fair Credit? Yes. Yes. The thing is, having Fair Credit does not mean that you cannot qualify for an emergency loan. The thing here is that you just need to fit certain criteria, okay? Things like debt to income ratio. This is important. You want to also check your credit score to make sure that your score is indeed the score that you currently have, that there are no issues, there are no derogatory items that are just dragging your score down. Those are things you really think about, and make sure that you compare emergency loan lenders for Fair Credit. So you need to think about how much the emergency loan will cost, what terms you can get on the loan, how quickly you can apply and get funded. So those are important criteria. And how do you apply for an emergency loan if you have Fair Credit? Just make sure that you have a personally identifiable information, right? So your social security number, your date of birth, your address, your income information, and details about the funding you need. So we're talking about loan amount and purpose, okay? And because once you have all this information, this will make the application process easier, because lenders anyway will require you to provide that information. Okay, so this is really important, and you want to really target lenders who do a soft pull. That way you are not risking a hard pull right off the bat. Okay, so when we talk about an emergency loan, we are talking about a loan that you can actually you need because you need a certain access for cash. Let's say you have unexpected expenses, things like medical loans, or things like a home renovation, something happens in the basement. It is a life-threatening emergency. So you need cash ASAP to take care of that. So this is what it is. And you can do a lot of things with emergency loans with Fair Credit, okay? A lot of things. It really depends upon your situation, okay? And one thing I want to say here is that you can actually get an emergency loan if you have Fair Credit through various platforms. For example, online lenders, credit unions, traditional banks, okay, credit card companies, what we call cash advances, okay, relatives and friends, payday lenders. Now the thing is, with payday lenders, we really want to steer clear if we can avoid that, because their rates are prohibitively high. So you really don't want that. And one thing I want to say here is that if you can get a loan from a credit union, go ahead and get that too. One thing I need to say I also want to say clearly here is that an emergency loan can impact your credit score, because again, they will do a hard pull anyway, and depending on the loan amount, you can actually initially you're going to have a ding to your credit score, okay? Because they will do a hard pull once you sign the promissory note, or after you agree to the offer. And so in choosing an emergency loan, please pay attention to a few things. My question to you is, can you afford a new monthly payment? Like, does your DTI allow you to have that? Do you have room in your budget? Does this lender offer loans to borrowers with Fair Credit? What does the lender charge for emergency loan, the APR range? You really want to pay attention to that, okay? How much is the loan going to cost you? Are there additional fees you should be aware of? How long would you have to repay the loan? Is there a pre-qualification option to check your potential rate and loan offer in advance? And how soon would you receive the funds if you qualify? Okay, so because we are talking about emergency loans here, so the money is needed. You need the cash. You can't wait for days. No. Okay. And the thing here is that if you want to avoid having emergencies in the future, please make sure that you track your spending. It's really important. You can create a realistic budget based on your monthly bills and spending habits. And you can find ways to cut your current expenses so you can actually have enough cash, additional cash, to have a rainy day fund, an emergency savings account. That way you don't have to resort to a loan whenever you have an emergency. Okay, so those are things you need to think about. I mean, obviously we are speaking about how to fund the emergency on this show, but it's also really important to understand that there are ways to avoid emergency expenses in the first place, like resorting to a loan. You can also open a separate dedicated savings account to tuck away money for emergencies, okay, and make a habit of saving some money every pay period. This is important. Now, there are alternatives to emergency loans. Okay, you can get a payday loans. You can get a cash advance. But I've said this before, but you really want to stay away from payday loans. Okay, I mean, we have covered payday loans on this show before, but this is not a loan type that we will recommend to our viewers. Okay, it is good for what it is, but you will have better options. You only go to payday loans if you have no other options. This is your last resort. Okay, so this is what it is. Before closing the conversation, I just want to quickly show you our loan evaluation approach video. Okay, we have a strong methodology on this show when it comes to reviewing, categorizing, and listing loans that we review. So check this out. All right, folks, let's close to this conversation. So a recap here. Lending Club, number 1, 10 over 10. Number 2, Upstart, 9.5 over 10. Number 3, Best Egg, 9.5 over 10. Number 4, we have Avant, 9 over 10. Number 5, we have Upgrade, 9 over 10. Number 6, we have One Main Financial, 8.5 over 10. Number 7, we have Grace Loan Advance, 8 over 10. Number 8, we have CashUSA.com, 8 over 10. Number 9, we have personalloans.com, 7.5 over 10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have Clearview Loans, 7 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.